Hello, y'all. I'm Jen, and this is
Jen.
And together we push play. Hey.
Play.
We are back with another one, y'all. It is MrBallen's Shorts channel. This is lost episode number 9, titled Gas Station Worker Captures Disturbing Video. Let's go.
February of 2019, a young man named Austin and his family moved to Houston, Texas. As soon as they arrived and they had their stuff pulled off the vehicles, Austin went out looking for a job. Because he was brand new to the area and his family was really tight on cash, he started looking for jobs that people didn't necessarily want, the types of jobs that would hire him really quickly. And luckily, 5 minutes down the road from his house was a gas station that was looking for someone to take the dreaded 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. shift. Austin went over there, he applied, and was quickly given the job, and quickly realized how miserable it is to sleep all day and work all night. 3 months later, in May, Austin woke up one evening to get ready for work, and he realized the power was out. So he left his bedroom and headed downstairs where his father was, and he asked him, how long has the power been out? And his dad told him that basically as soon as Austin had come home from his last shift, it had gone out, and the power company says it's going to be a while before it comes back on again. Austin stepped outside onto his front porch underneath the overhang, and it was pouring rain. And in fact, it had been raining when he had come back from his last shift, and looking out at his front yard and the streets, which were all flooded, it was clear it had just not stopped raining. And he's looking around and all the houses are completely dark, the streetlights are even dark, so this power outage is pretty massive. Austin wasn't sure if he was going to need to go into work that day because of the flooding and the power outage, so he called his manager and he asked her, and she would say that yes, we do need you to come in, but not for your normal job because the store is without power like everyone else. What we want you to do is just sit inside the store with the doors locked to prevent looting. Feeling a little let down that he still had to work, Austin grabbed a cup of coffee, put on his rain boots and his rain jacket, and ran out to his car.
It's just like an employer, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, at least he's gonna get paid, So, that does suck, but he didn't get his lucky free day off. Probably the majority of people didn't have to go into work that day, but because he works one of those crappy jobs, you still gotta go. He's essential and he doesn't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
The drive to work was surreal. Not only was it totally dark because there was basically no streetlights on and all the houses are dark, but as Austin was driving, the roads were flooded, but because there was no light, it was very difficult to gauge how deep these puddles were. And on the road, periodically, he would see cars that had miscalculated the depths of these puddles and clearly had gotten stuck, and the driver had just abandoned their vehicle. He described the scene as feeling like something out of a zombie apocalypse movie.
That is scary. I don't like driving in the rain, y'all, at all. And one of my first major accidents on the road was because I hydroplaned 3 football fields, and I'll never forget it. So yeah, if it's raining, you're not getting me into work. I'm not leaving the house, especially if it's bad. Now, if it's just sprinkling, I'm okay. How many of you guys won't drive in the rain? It scares me to death. I can't even be a passenger. I can't. Jay knows it's true.
Yeah,
he knows it's true.
It's true.
Austin finally got to the gas station parking lot, which was slightly elevated, so there was a whole bunch of cars that had been left in the lot, presumably to avoid being flooded. And so he pulls into a spot and he sees his manager is in the store. She sees him. He hops out of the car. He runs up to the door. She unlocks it. She lets him in. She shuts it and locks it behind him. Austin had never been inside the store without power on, and he said what struck him as soon as he walked in was not just that it was totally dark, but it was totally quiet. All the drink machines and the cooler and all the kind of ambient sounds were all gone, and it was just totally quiet. He turned to his manager, who was using her phone as a flashlight, and she said to him, "Look, there's not much for you to do here, so keep the door shut. Let me know if you need anything, and if the power comes back on again, open the store as usual." She handed him the keys and left out the front door. He locked the door behind her and then walked over to one of the tables inside, up against the side of the store. When he sat down, he got out his phone to start watching some YouTube videos to kill the time, but he quickly saw that there was no internet service, and he figured, well, I guess the power outage must have affected internet providers. And so now, totally bored without the internet, he got up and got a couple energy drinks, and he sat down at this table and just smashed energy drinks and watched the rain. And after about an hour of doing that, he was still really bored, and he thought, I've always wanted to do vlogging, and so why not start vlogging right now? So he gets his phone out and he props it up on the table and he starts recording himself. And so for the next couple of hours, Austin talked into his camera about the storm, about the power outage, about sports, about movies, about all sorts of things.
That seems like something I would do. Or I'd start recording myself like singing or something just to hear myself sing. Yeah, I mean, what else was the kid gonna do? He could have cleaned, maybe stocked some stuff, but his manager did say there wasn't much for him to do.
He just sit there.
Yeah.
Open if the lights came back on. And the lights didn't come back on.
Crazy.
Easy money.
His intent was not really to create a concise vlog so much as to just stay awake doing something. And it was working. He enjoyed doing it. And then around 3 a.m., as he's sitting there talking to his camera, you hear the unmistakable sound of someone banging really hard on the inside of the coolers on the other side of the store. And Austin immediately stops talking and turns his head and looks. And he hears it again. Very distinct pounding coming from the other side of the building. At this point, Austin is still looking. He's not even flinching. He's just staring in the direction of the sound. And then he turns back to the camera when he hears a third sound that doesn't sound like pounding, but it sounds like something else coming from that side of the room. And after that third sound, he's had enough. He gets up, he walks out of the store, locks it behind him, and gets in his car. He doesn't go back inside the store for the rest of his shift, and when his manager shows up, he honks the horn to get her to come over. And she's like, "What are you doing out here? Why aren't you..."
Oh my.
He ran.
Do you blame him though? From like inside the cooler, like a banging noise? I think I probably would have like called somebody. Just because you didn't have internet service, you still probably had a phone. You probably still could have called somebody. But
Who you gonna call?
Ghostbusters.
There you go.
No, it's like I can only imagine what was running through his head, and I probably would have went to my car too, but I would have been making some phone calls. Crazy.
You in the store like you're supposed to be. And he just shows her the video. As she's watching the video, she's clearly startled by the footage, and at the end of it, she confesses to Austin that lately employees have been telling her they're hearing weird banging sounds coming from the cooler, and that she had gone in there to check if maybe there was an animal or just something that was causing the sound, and she said she couldn't find it. After this, Austin's manager went inside the store and looked around, and there was no one inside, there was no one in the cooler, and she reviewed the footage of inside and outside the store over the past 12 to 24 hours, and the only people that had come near the store were her and Austin. Austin quit his job there 2 weeks later. Here is some of the footage of Austin inside the gas station.
It is pouring. All day it's been pouring. So I went outside to go check, and our street was flooded. And in front of his street. You hear that? Something is moving around in the cooler. Screw all that noise.
So that's good.
I mean,
Yeah, it sounded like the first thing sounded like something fell off a shelf. And then the second one, yeah, it sounded like banging on the glass. Like, that's crazy. I didn't hear the third sound that made him go, but he definitely locked up the store and got in his car. That's for sure. Oh, man. Okay.
Gonna do it, guys. If you found the secret in today's episode, let us know in the comments what it is and where you found it. So give us the timestamp, and if you're the first to do that, we'll pin you at the top of the comments section. If you enjoyed today's video and you haven't done this already, please put Icy Hot on the Like Button's deodorant, and then also encourage them to pet your dog because it's so friendly, but in fact your dog isn't friendly. It bites anything that touches it. Also, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly 3, 4, even 5 video uploads.
Yeah, what he said about subscribing and all, y'all. That was MrBallen on his Shorts channel. Episode 9, the lost episode 9. Gas station worker captures disturbing video.
not a bad video.
No, I like that one. If you like this one and our commentary and our reactions, please give us a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below if you want to see more. We're trying to put out a video at least, 3 videos a week. So that's our goal at the moment. We've been staying pretty good with that goal. Until next time, y'all. Bye. I was trying to think of something clever to say, like,
Yeah.
go over the under,
Man.
or something about, I'll come up with something clever to say.
Humans.
Won't you go down there at red old button over the title or something? I don't know. I'll think of something clever. Okay, let me stop recording.